Hey gang, well, to some of you who may see this video in the future, I'm sure this place brings back some crazy, maybe some good memories. And to a lot of you other people, well, you just don't know how much this place really meant to a lot of us who came down here just about every Saturday back in 2004, and really tried to make this into something. I'm gonna cut to the chase real quick. This house did not look this bad back around 2003. It looked bad, but it did not look this bad. This house used to be a place where we used to go and do backyard wrestling shows, and we had so much fun being down here. We had so much fun just coming down here and performing for people. And we did two different backyard wrestling gigs. One was called XIW. That's the one that I ran with the help of my buddy Reno and my ex Mickey. Of course, I pretty much ran it by myself, so, to be honest with you, I had to make all the plans for matches and stuff like that. Reno, he mostly wrestled. I wrestled on occasion, but to be honest with you, running your own wrestling gig didn't make a whole lot of sense if you're going to try and wrestle in it too, and all this, but no, but yeah, we did a lot of shows down here. We hardly ever missed a Saturday. If it was hot outside, we were down here. If it was raining, we were down here. It didn't matter what the weather was. We were down here doing shows, and word of mouth started spreading around, and we started getting a little bit bigger and a little bit bigger. The first show we did down here, we had a pretty good sized crowd. Of course, most of our guys down here that were wrestling were also in the crowd, and we kind of did that kind of thing. Right there is where we would go to change into clothes that we didn't care if they got ripped up or not or destroyed. So yeah, that was sort of our little back dressing room. Get a good shot of that. Okay, enough of that. Right around this area right here, that's where we laid down all the mattresses, and we would go to wrestle. And right back around there, around that cabinet area, we had right along here, right along those board parts, we kept our weapons, and they could be pulled out. And sometimes it was hard to pull those suckers out of there, and to try and get on out of there and using our matches and stuff like that. And right here is a little platform that, believe it or not, most guys would actually try to jump off of here and onto their opponents on the mattresses. Now, when we first started off, we only had 4 mattresses. But as time went on, we were able to gather up more mattresses and really have a little bit more room to wrestle on and stuff like that. So yeah, we had a ton of fun, and unfortunately, the fun didn't last very long. We were here from March of 2003 till June of 2003. All due to a little bit of a mistake, and the mistake was that we were doing a show down here, and excuse me, and word was spreading that we were going to try and do a really big show down here, and over here is where everybody would sit. Now, I'm not kidding you, gang. When I got down here, I saw 5, 6, 7 different vehicles along the road here, along this road, up that away by the park. And this place was packed, believe it or not. We had, now to some people you hear 25 people, you sit there and you sit there. Well, nowadays you just sit there and just kind of go like, that sounds like a TNA crowd. For us, 25 people back then, that was huge, and we really thought we were going to make it for sure. So we did our first match, which was a Texas Tornado Rules tag title match between the champions at the time, 2 Extreme, the Infliction Child and Dangerous Dan, against Blood, Sweat, and Tears, which were Richter and Blade Wilkins. And it was a great, fantastic match. I still wish I had the videotape, but unfortunately, I don't know whoever got a hold of the videotape. I don't even know whatever happened to the videotape, but the match went amazing. I mean, the double team moves these guys did, it was just purely awesome, and it was great. Unfortunately, that was the last match we did down here for quite some time until we came back a few years later, try and restart XIW and UUW, but it just didn't have that same effect it did years ago. And the reason why the show stopped after just that one match is because we had a bunch of kids down here and they were smoking cigarettes. So when we did a break, because that first match lasted about 12-15 minutes at least, and we definitely had to recharge the battery on the camera because, you know, we were recording on videotapes back then. And so what happened was that we had a bunch of kids. You know, I would come out here because I was operating the camera and everything like that, and I was filming and interviewing guys right out here because it's where we do the interview segments. And right here, some of the kids who came down here, couldn't have been more than 12, 13, 14 years old, were smoking, and they were caught right here in the doorway smoking cigarettes. So they take off for a little bit. We tell them we're going to take a break and do some recharging the battery. All of a sudden, this woman shows up and asks us what we're doing and why our kids smell like cigarettes and why there's half-naked guys in this house and all this other stuff. And why am I holding a video camera? We tried to explain to her we're just doing backyard wrestling. That didn't go over too well with her. She thought we were actually doing porn videos down here because we had, you know, we had, again, like I said, we had half-naked guys down here and the whole 9 yards and all this, and they thought we were doing some sort of weird pornographic stuff, and we tried to tell her, no, we're not, and she threatened to bring the police on. We told her bring them on, but they never showed. So pretty much that was pretty much the end of our run in XIW, UUW. We did, however, go to several different places, try and keep the magic going, but it was kind of hard to do. But we still kept it going. But in my honest opinion, I think the only reason why XIW, UUW did not survive... Got this bug hanging in front of me. There we go. The only reason it didn't survive... egos. The thing is, there were so many guys who would come to these shows, and if they didn't get what they wanted to, which was mostly just be put on video and have the tape shared with other people and let other people see their talents, they pretty much just didn't show up. And there was one show we did. It was at a buddy's house, where the UUW World's Champion shows up, and he's got a match, and he's the main event. And the first thing he asks is, do we have a camera? And we said, no, we're going to do it without a camera. We don't have a camera. He says, well, I'm not wrestling. He drops the belt and goes home. So that pretty much right there can tell you for sure that, for sure, dude, that ego pretty much got in the way of why XIW and UUW never strived. It was mainly because everybody wanted a camera at every show, and it was a real shame that had to happen. Do I ever see XIW, UUW coming back? XIW more than likely not, but, you know, never say never. UUW, I don't know. You definitely have to put that in the hands of somebody who knows what they're doing, and I would rather put it back in the hands of the guy who ran it originally, but he's just got too much on his plate going on anyway. So, but who knows? You never know. I mean, one of these days you might see some old stuff on here on YouTube. If I can ever get some of what I consider our best matches onto a DVD and burn them on the computer and put them on here, I definitely will. So just look for something to happen sometime soon, gang. And but yeah, you know, I just want to come down here, share a few memories with this old house, which is pretty much the house that XIW UUW built. But again, due to ego, it never got much farther, and that was a real shame. But hope you enjoyed the video, gang, and I'm gonna get on out of here. So, you know, guys, have a great day, have an awesome day, and we'll see you guys later. stay strong and rock on.